So, why do you always feel anxious and what to do about it, how to handle it? Now, if you look up the word anxious on Google, it means feeling or showing worry, nervousness, or unease about something with uncertain outcome. And the other meaning is very eager or concerned to do something or for something to happen. So anxiousness can also come when you're feeling excited. But in this video, we're not talking about excitement. Also, we're not talking about instances where, let's just say you are late for work, or let's just say you missed your flight, or you don't want to miss your flight, but you're running late and you are anxious about that. We're not talking about that because that's like a short-lived anxiousness or worrying. We are talking about long-lived anxiousness, and I am talking to people who are constantly anxious on a daily basis, no matter what, even if there is no such situation to be anxious about. So why do we get anxious? Simple meaning is or worrying about some uncertain outcome, or having this feeling of fear of unknown. That's what anxiousness is. Because if we are certain about the outcomes in our life, if we are certain and we know how the situation is going to go, we won't be feeling any fear, we won't be worrying about it, we won't be nervous about it. Nervousness, uneasiness, and fear only comes when there is uncertainty. But then where does this fear come from? So what happens is your lack of surety within yourself materializes itself into fear of the unknown. That fear of unknown, again, as we talked earlier, turns itself into being anxious. And if you are anxious or living in stress for a longer period of time, that might convert into anxiety disorder, which is your body's response towards constant stress. Anxiety also might materialize itself into some physical symptoms, as we all know about. The fear is only coming because there is some level of lack of surety or security within your own being. If you're on my channel, I'm all about personal responsibility, relying on yourself to fulfill yourself, to complete yourself. Okay, now how does that matter in this case? It does. Lack of surety to me is a result of you or somebody not completely believing in themselves. Okay, that's when we are unsure about things. We are only unsure about things when we are unsure about ourselves. You don't realize it yet. Everything in your life right now is just a reflection of what you feel about yourself. Everything you feel within yourself about yourself is going to be reflected back at you. On the flip side of it, when you're sure about yourself, you know who you are, you know what you deserve and what you get, you're going to be very sure about what you're going to get. Yes, things might seem uncertain for some period of time, even when you are manifesting or creating your own life, or consciously creating. Things might still seem a little bit uncertain sometimes, but you're still going to be really, really sure, holding and knowing that this is what I get, this is what I deserve, this is what I always get. Now, that thing, that surety actually materializes itself into relaxation, into comfort, into just relaxing within your own being, because now you're so sure, because you know where you're headed, because you know who you are. I'm pretty sure you have at least once experienced in any area of your life a level of surety, and you have seen yourself being really relaxed and knowing of things. When I say knowing of things, you already know how it's going to turn out. That's what surety is. Lack of surety materializes itself to fear of unknown. That fear of unknown materializes itself in you feeling nervous, you feeling anxious, and you just feeling fear in general. Feeling anxious on a regular basis might turn into anxiety disorder, and the cycle kind of keeps going. If you are constantly in stress, it's gonna actually strengthen that lack of surety you're feeling within yourself, and this cycle kind of goes on until unless like you decide to break it off. Now, constantly living in stress and constantly living in anxiousness is not good for your body, because it might turn into disease. I don't want to impose any limiting belief, but it's just not good for your body. Our bodies are not meant to handle long-term stress. Okay, it needs to repair itself, it needs to come back to homeostasis. A normal default state was never meant to be one in stress. That's the biggest lie society tells us, because they have like normalized being in stress or being unhappy so much through TV shows, through movies, through news, because they want you to live in fear. They want you to live like this. They want you to live in stress because, again, if you were not living in stress and if you're in this constant state of bliss, they won't be able to control. All I'm trying to say is your body is not meant to handle long-term stress, needs to return to homeostasis, and that's where it is supposed to be all the time. Once in a while, if you are stressing about something, it's completely fine, but if you are constantly stressing about stuff, it's not good for your body. Now, how to handle anxiousness and how to not feel stressed all the time. The number one thing I would recommend you guys doing is breath work by Wim Hof. If you haven't heard about him already, I will link his breath work down in the description box below. If you're somebody who's like really anxious, really stressed about stuff, I would highly recommend you guys actually doing the breath work twice a day. Now what it's gonna do is it's just gonna communicate in a way to your body that it's okay to be relaxed in the situation, okay? So you are manually regulating your nervous system, you're manually calming yourself down and letting your body know that it's okay to relax. We can relax right now, repair, regeneration, and everything else. There's nothing to be stressed about. So what you're doing, you're just letting your body know that there is no threat outside, there's no predator outside, there's nothing to be stressed about, and you're doing it manually. So that's why breath work is so important. If you're somebody who's constantly stressed, do it twice a day. It's so good. You really need to relax your body manually and regulate your nervous system. Now, apart from breath work twice a day, which is really essential, you cannot skip it, is to engage in something very creative. Now, the reason being, we are only creative when we are feeling safe, okay? So when you're feeling anxious, you're feeling unsafe. All right, so when we are engaging ourselves, forcing ourselves to actually engage in some creativity, we are almost communicating to our bodies that we are safe here, we are safe in this reality. And you're naturally gonna feel safe and secure as you engage with that creative activity more and more. Whatever, it can be anything, it can be literally anything you like doing, do that, engage with it. That is not only going to relax you or feel you safe, that's also going to create this feeling of excitement within you. And what's going to happen is, once you are in this state of excitement, you might just actually perceive that uncertainty in a very different light. You might just perceive it as something very exciting, because unknown can also be exciting. Uncertainty can be exciting. So once you are in this excited state, you might actually start to perceive that uncertainty in a very different light. And you know what's going to happen? You're just going to create momentum around it. As in, you're going to create more of excitement. You're going to create more circumstances which are exciting in your life, because we're always creating from our belief system, and we are always creating through the state we are in currently. So if you are in an excited state, you're going to create more of that. Your brain is gonna give you more of that evidence, okay? It's confirmation bias. Your brain is always trying to prove you right. So if you are in this excited zone, it's gonna cherry pick everything from your reality which is exciting, all right? Just to prove that state correct, just to prove what you're thinking right now correct. I'm just gonna turn it all around like that. Another thing which can be really helpful is to exercise regularly. Not to attain some kind of body or body goals. Yes, you can do that if you want to, but to mainly actually regulating your nervous system even more, because when we work out, our body releases endorphins, which actually helps in regulating our mood as well. It's really essential, okay? So just do something, just do a little bit of yoga, or maybe stretching, or just lifting, or whatever you like, just to make sure that you're taking good care of your body and just relaxing it, because it's another way to regulate your nervous system. So yeah, that's like really helpful tips, like breathing exercises, engaging in something really creative, staying away from anything which instills fear in you. Anything, it can be anything, it can be movies, it can be TV shows, news. Stay away, cut down anything which sparks that fear in you. Speaking from my own experience, I know how much it helped me when I cut all that junk out of my life. Another thing is to actually genuinely working on your belief system and changing yourself and improving yourself and evolving as a human being, and healing any parts of you which you're still holding on to. And because you're holding on to them, they're holding you back. So I have a whole tutorial on that as to how to do your own therapy, how to change yourself, how to improve, how to create a new belief system, and then how to create a new life. I will link it down in the description. It's really helpful. For now, you can just start with breathing exercise and engaging in some creativity or some creative activity. Basically, having a good schedule for your day and pack it with good stuff. Pack it with stuff which makes you feel relaxed and good. That's the aim right here. The first goal is to step out of this constant state of stress. Then you can like start your work on building a new belief system. So I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions regarding this, please ask me questions down in the comment section below. I would love to answer those. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.